Move that we reconvene as council and seal the executive session.
Second.
Motion made second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, folks. Okay, I want to call the Hopkinton Town Council meeting of August 1st, 2016 to order with a moment of silent meditation and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, there was no votes taken in the executive session, and I need a motion to seal the minutes.
We're going to seal the minutes.
Oh, you did, okay. Okay.
Second.
Second. All those in favor? Aye, thank you. First up is the consent agenda. Approved town council meeting minutes of July 18, 2016. Executive session minutes of July 18, 2016. Set August 15, 2016 as the hearing date for a special event permit filed by Foster Parrots. Approve abatements through corrections, adjustments to motor vehicles submitted by the tax assessor.
We should pull July 18th. Town meeting minutes.
Anything else? Okay, what do you got on?
On page, the 18th, page 2. Near the bottom, about a third way up, Council President Randolph noted that there is a standard rate of $5,000 per kilowatt hour. I don't believe that's correct.
No, it's not.
Is it 500?
No, it's 500.
$500. Okay, so it should be $500, not 5,000. And then the other one was page 13, 4 or 5 lines down. This is probably just some form of typo. Councilor Capaldo asked when she passes, comma, it would goes to. Yeah, I'm a little confused. Yeah, I'm not sure either. Could we just look at that and see what's that? Oh, does she want to say in the property, Councilor Capaldo asked when she passes, who would it go to?
Who would the property?
Yeah, who would the property go to? That's a
Page 14. Oh, eighth line down, it just says council president. Stick Frank Stamen and Randolph.
Oh,
motion to approve town council meeting minutes of July 18th.
Second.
correction.
With corrections.
Motion made second. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, first public forum. Anyone out there wishing to be heard? Next, under my report, I did get a call from Senator Algier last week. I guess kind of congratulating us on our decision to now proceed, at least as a council, and hopefully the town have it voted on November for the transit hub. And we got letters, I think, in our packets from Representative Kennedy. I know Senator Morgan was certainly against it. And anyway, just a lot of support from our legislative partners statewide, so I wanted to pass that along. That's that. Bill McGarry, Town Manager Report.
Thank you. July 21st, the meeting was held in the council chambers to discuss the progress of the Glenworthy Field project. I know it's been before the council several times. Jim Lanfear, Sean Henry, Mary Sawyer, Jeff Marchant, Joe Giancarelli, the high school principal, and I attended the meeting. We reviewed the proposed plans and agreed to move forward with phase 1 of the project, and everything looks good. It's currently a work in progress. Secondly, the National Grid streetlight purchase. On July 26th, I met with Charleston Town Council President Tom Getz in my office, and we discussed our options, steps, and timetable for the future anticipated purchase of streetlights from National Grid. There's been a delay. National Grid has not yet provided Prism with Hopkinton's list of inventory for the streetlights, nor the quote for the price for the streetlights. In addition to that, all the communities, the cities and towns are in the process, and Prism can only do a few cities and towns at the same time. They do a Providence, a Little Compton, and one other one right now. So we're in the pipeline, but it's going to be a matter of months before we hear back from National Grid. The town has got a timetable and a protocol for each of the cities and towns to go through the process. So we're involved in it. It's just going to take a matter of time. Water meter plumbing services requested proposals. Last Sunday, yesterday, an ad was placed for the water meter plumbing installation services in the Journal and the Westerly Sun, with a pre-bid meeting set for August 4th, a bid opening set for August 18th, and a bid award set for September 6th. Lastly, double utility poles. National Grid has informed us after meeting with them last Thursday that they're down to 32 double utility poles in town. That's down from 108 last August. It went down to 68, back up to 70, and now it's down to 32. National Grid only has 3 more poles to pull that don't have any utilities on them, and we're in the process of working with Verizon, Cox, and National Grid to significantly reduce the existing 32 poles to get them down to single-digit numbers. So they've been very cooperative.
Bill, I mean, I just started it, but Bill took the reins after that thing, so kudos to you,
We're
Bill.
working with the box.
Oh, thank you.
So are there any double poles running like home?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Now that involves what we did as far as widening the road. And then we're still waiting for the utilities.
Well, at Thursday's meeting, all the utilities are off those 2 poles. And he indicated, Paul Stasiak indicated that those poles will be moved this week.
Oh, great.
So we're in pretty good shape.
All right, thanks. Okay, guys, thank you, Joe. Next under new business, discussion of potential use of suitable municipal and/or Hopkinton Land Trust properties for city solar PV facilities, thereby generating potential tax credits and revenues. Councilor Thompson.
Yes, I met with an investor who has a company that has done a great deal of work in Massachusetts. There were a number of examples provided to the council, like Carver, Massachusetts, where they had gone into the community, worked with the municipality, and in, I think, 3 instances, put solar panels on the landfill. And for instance, I believe one of the landfills was 15 acres. And this particular company prefers to go 15 acres and up. They don't like to go smaller. But what I learned from looking into this and looking at our own municipal land is that we do have a couple of locations. The landfill, I don't know. I do know that when they put these structures on the landfill, which they have done, there's a platform. They don't go into the ground, so it's different. There's a platform for each solar, and that's how they get away with it. Our landfill, I don't even know what the slope is up there. It's an interesting idea. It would, the closer they are to whoever ends up doing this, the closer they are to the substation, the less costly it is, because they have to put up a dedicated line, which I didn't realize. I didn't know that. Yeah. So I think it's something that we should pursue and look into. One of the possibilities is right back here. We've got quite a few acres back here, and it's dry enough where we could put in 15 plus. I'm not sure how high it would go, but it wouldn't go less than 15 acres. And the good thing is, of course, the state legislature, our legislative folks, have made it possible for municipalities to do this, and actually offers credits, tax credits. And this is convoluted way they go about it. But in the end, you end up, the municipality, for instance, with a 15-acre solar farm that they refer to, could generate enough money to, for instance, equal the expenses that we have at the work department. You might be looking at $150,000 revenue. And it's something where you lease the land to the company comes in and they have all the responsibility. It doesn't happen in 2 minutes, it takes time. And of course, things do move slowly in government, but it also, that particular type of project also works slowly. And it's not something they can just willy-nilly do. They have to get approvals from the state or down. There's a number of steps to go through. The other thing that I was interested in is, and I don't know the answer to, is whether or not the land trust would be allowed to do, legally allowed to take a section of their land that they see as an opportunity for conservation, and maybe it does fit into their goals, but it would offer them a revenue source so they can use it for operating expenses or any way they choose.
And that would get us off the hook.
There you go, sure. So really, it's a wonderful thing. So it's a nice opportunity. I don't know if it's something that would work for the land trust, but we could certainly find out. And I'm hoping that if there was a possibility that we could do it with the land trust, that maybe we combine our forces, and when we get to the point, assuming the council wants to pursue this, we get to the point where we can actually go out to bid. It might be a bid document that covers the land trust and the town. Maybe it's something we can do together. That's farther on down the road, but it's an interesting avenue to go to see revenue source for municipalities. Save on electric bill, or and certainly conserve energy. It's happening all over. A lot of interest.
Barrington, Portsmouth, Rotary, the wind generators, Portsmouth, no problem is. You and I, you told me about this gentleman. The gentleman actually went up with some town officials up to the landfill a while back. And he was out of a company out of Colorado, I believe. He gave me his number, I talked to him, and then he called me back and we talked about that. Because I said, landfills, basically my work.
60 acres of
Yeah, it's a huge
We're
area.
not using it
And
all.
he said, I've already been up there. I guess he went up there with, I don't know, it was Jim Teffer, Brad Ward, and a couple other officials, maybe. Bill, did you go up to the landfill with a gentleman from that? No. But anyhow, some town officials went up with him. And he looked at it. The problem was that they have to have a special line that runs through. And that was what the term is. And he said it would be, he said it would be, it wouldn't make financial sense. He said, set up there. I thought, what a shame, because it's a great spot. It's out of the way. It's not ugly. It's not anything. It's just out there in the woods. But they have to run a line from the landfill down Stubbtown Road, all the way down
All the way
to
to the new substation. But the folks that I was talking to, when they looked at the land back here, perfect. It's only 2.5 miles from the substation. It would work.
Yeah.
The landfill's 5, so it's twice as far. He said that the revenue stream for the municipality would be lower, but there would be revenue.
It's not too swampy back here, because that was one of the problems way back when we purchased this property. It was basically swampland back there. We found it on the highway.
There's also, there's quite a bit of land back there.
Yeah.
There are areas that are wet and there are areas that aren't. And there's an easement that goes in.
It's a wonderful idea if we get this done.
So you willing to move forward?
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah, these guys,
I think it's an interesting concept, and I'm certainly willing to follow it a little bit further. I do like some of the things that it can bring us. I am concerned that 15 acres is a huge portion of land. The pictures that were in the packet are quite substantial. 15 acres is a massive quantity of land. I'm not sure I would be happy about the land trust using that much acreage. Although certainly I think the municipality could, if it was actually tucked away. I'm certainly for landfills and gravel banks being able to use that kind of solar panels to conserve energy and bring monies into town. I'm willing to look into this further. My concern is, though, it's extremely ugly, extremely large, and I'm not sure it will bring all the money that people say it will bring. I think that they will assume one number and you'll get another, and I think that needs to be looked into more thoroughly. I'm just hesitant, but I'm willing to look into it and see where it goes. And I certainly think the land trust should have a lot to say about what they do with their land. for our land, to be frank, public land.
It's Tom.
Okay, do we know how much our municipality electric bill is per year?
Well, I know we use 356,000 kilowatts.
I didn't get a chance to call Ryan today, because from what I've read in this, at $1 million, the municipality ends up with 170,000.
Yeah, it's 15 to 20%.
Yeah, 15%, 15 to 20%. So I'm like, I don't believe we're anywhere near that number. And then I was looking at Google, this area out here. Who would pay for the clearing of the land for that? Would it be the solar people? Or do we have like Thompson's come in and clear cut it and sell the wood? So we get, I mean, there's a lot of other things there. Energy generated, I was looking at, talking about tax credits, where we still get our energy from whoever we get it
Direct
from.
energy.
Yeah, whoever we buy it from. And then there's credits that are given back. Is that all the revenue that we gain? Is
No.
that is credit
No,
card
there's
credits?
additional revenue.
Or do we also get like a lease of land
Yes. And
revenue also?
And because the company actually gave me some numbers, and so I'm gonna not even repeat them, because this is something that we move forward, it's let the bidders bid. So we want to be careful that I don't repeat some proprietary information, but there is a lease amount you get per acre,
Okay,
and that's considerable.
so that's one
That's
one revenue.
There's two revenue
So
sources.
the other revenue is the
Credits.
tax credits.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because when I read the documents in our packet, I didn't see anything about lease fees.
Right.
Right, it wasn't anything mentioned there, so, okay, we'll have to chat about that, I guess. And, do we know how many parcels in town are greater than 15 acres that we own?
Well, we looked at that are useful now, because, for instance, the Crandall Field is around 60 acres, and we were looking at the backwoods, and it's just a couple of streams back there. There's no way you could make it work back there.
So you're thinking of only probably the two parcels that you mentioned?
Mainly,
essentially? And the only other question I had too, I think we should pursue it a little further, is, I guess, and I mentioned this to Tom, would this in any way conflict with what we've already started with PRISM? You know, in terms of those streetlights and whatnot, I don't know if that would conflict with anything that Tom Gantz is doing, with what we've already paid for through Tom PRISM. I'm not sure if that interacts with it or conflicts with it, just a thought.
At least we haven't paid very much.
No, we haven't.
Well, from what I think I was
We may not go
by reading this packet, we're still paying who we pay for electricity. So this is like a side type thing. From what I know now, I don't think it would affect our PRISM issues.
Maybe. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but maybe we could have a workshop and invite some land trust folks if so them come in, and they can weigh in on their parcels that they own potentially, and then have this person come and talk with us, because obviously I think we need to have that person here to give us some advice.
It's a little tricky to invite a
Yeah.
developer
Yeah.
in for a workshop, because it taints the bidding
Yeah.
process. So I understand your point, there's a lack of information, there's a lack of information on our part. So we're gonna have to muddle through. If the council's willing to look at this and move forward just as little as I have done, and see what Bill can come up with, and the staff, but, and the land trust, I don't think we need to meet, I think they need to meet, and they can decide whether legally it's okay, and if they even wanted to use land. We were talking about the possibility, that perhaps if the land trust had a piece of land, a minimum of 15 acres, that they were willing to allow someone to come on and put in this solar farm, they would reap the
take that out of our budget
Yeah.
effectively.
Can we also compare the value of a solar farm versus a wind turbine? With the sense that, the solar panels are going to take 15 acres, the wind turbine takes an acre. Now, I don't like those, I don't always see this, I don't listen, but there are places I would think in town, and I don't want to say that landfill again, but landfill is one of them, unfortunately, where it's out of sight, out of mind. It's up on a hill, the landfill is, and it might be an equally good idea if we could just see what the difference is in value to the town.
It's funny you brought that up, because I was just talking to somebody this weekend, that has something to do with a windmill up in Providence or Walworth or somewhere. One of them that broke down.
Broken what?
Yes, okay, that's the one.
Yeah.
The problem is those companies go in and out of
Yeah,
business.
they do.
And they cannot get parts for that windmill.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like, he says, they don't know yet, they're still trying, but it looks like they may have to put a completely brand new windmill up. Because it's not compatible with the design of each one, which was, I thought was pretty interesting.
What's going to take the whole generator out of it? It's going to cost them more money than they made already with the electricity.
And I think the windmill is close to $1 million, that is what I have heard.
It's also, I think, what I find interesting, and it's certainly interesting because it's interesting information to get, is again, wind and solar progress so rapidly that as soon as you put something in, it's obsolete, and it moves forward from there. But I mean, I think it's definitely worth looking into because of the municipal budget. Anything that can help us on that, but to me, not at the cost of a massive amount of land that is anywhere near the public. We would
Well,
have to
if it went back
pay
here, I
to-
mean, hidden by all this.
I mean, if you
You
can
wouldn't
hide
even-
it.
Yeah, you wouldn't even see it that
Solar
deep.
panel, solar panel.
Yeah, you'd never even know the solar farm was out
We
there.
could raise cotton bunnies.
Ah,
But I think I'd like to go forward and
Poke around a little more.
see what we can.
I would too. Maybe we can have them just in another open agenda item. As I talked to Kevin, he said that's probably the only way we can really chat about it and get more information from a company that does this type of thing. So, maybe that's something we can do. Just have another open agenda item, providing this company sure comes and provides us with information. Okay, good. Okay, next on the new business, proposed LED ordinance. Discuss and consider an updated draft LED ordinance. Discuss and consider setting a hearing date for the proposed updated LED ordinance introduced and sponsored by Councilor Barbara Capalvo.
Thank you. We have a proposed draft amendment for the LED electronic signs. It would go under the sign ordinance. These are, this information, it's rather long. It's as precise as I can get, and it's from a number of different sign ordinances from different cities that have been addressing this, and we took several of them. And Kevin McAllister and I worked on them to try to get them as clear as we can. And I thought this is a preliminary. If anyone had something to say about it or think about it or need changes to it, I think it gives us something to begin with. I don't expect it to be an overnight thing.
Actually,
Want to kind of go through page by page and see if anyone has.
Yeah, because I could try to
Page.
explain.
yeah, I only had, there's a couple of things that was it.
All right, you want to start, let's start with page one, and does anybody have any questions on
And
that?
let's just see then, I can see if I can answer them for you. Any questions on page one?
Yes, I have a
Yes.
question. Last item under B, second sentence.
Monument signs?
Yeah, no, it says digital signs, B,
Oh,
okay. Second sentence under B,
yeah.
what is a wall? I guess is that physically like a wall of a
Yes,
building?
yeah, a canopy is like above fuel tanks, we have a canopy above,
Okay.
and a wall sign is literally a sign placed on the wall of the building that's electronic. Different from billboards are of course self-standing.
Yeah, just not too much.
And while we're on that one, monument signs are the signs that are self-standing. You'll see those at, you can see them really at exit 3 with Rite Aid, or some of the self-standing, they're a monument sign, they're Usually, I think we even have it that 6 feet is their height, and then the electronic sign could be placed in that. But you still have the painted section all around it.
But that one, aren't these gas station signs higher than 6 feet?
They're not a monument sign, they are a self-standing sign.
Okay.
And the size of the gasoline signs, the size of signs are determined by the sign ordinance. This is discussing the LEDs in those signs.
Can I go back to section A on page 1? It says digital signs are prohibited in residential zones within 200 feet of any residential property line. We've got businesses that have been spot zoned in residential areas. What are we going to do about that?
I think they can still be within 200 foot of a residential property line. And if they're that close to a property line, I'm not sure I want the sign up. If you've got a residence if you've got a quarter-acre lot or a half-acre lot,
Yeah.
I don't think they should have necessarily LED signs there in the middle of a residence.
I'm thinking about the former Rome's garage, which we've been talking about up in Oak Valley.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's going to say, he'd like to have a sign just like any other business in town. The problem is he's got houses within 50 feet on each side of his business.
I don't know if I'll put LED up.
But it's also.
No, I wouldn't like to see it either.
But in that case, you have Hope Valley. I mean, that is a historic area. I
Right.
certainly don't want to see the signs starting in those kinds of areas.
Right.
We can always, I suppose, you can do something as a special use permit or a special, if it's a special thing.
Yeah.
But I would like not to see it in Hope Valley. I don't want it to become like LEDs in specific. And so a business really has to be at least 200 feet away from residential areas.
So it would have to be in a business zone.
Yeah, I would think so. Business, industrial, manufacturing. We're trying to keep it as quiet as possible in the residential zones. The
Yeah.
last thing I want.
One of the things in a general situation I discussed this with you, Bob, at one point. How far away from the actual business are we going to allow these signs?
That's something that's in the actual sign ordinance. It is not in an LED ordinance. I think
It should be in there then.
no, it doesn't go in here. It goes in the sign ordinance.
Yeah, it's in another section of the sign.
This is just a part of.
This is just,
Right.
This is a part of the sign. This is the
Because
LEDs in the
So apparently
sign.
they do allow signs a good distance away from businesses. And I hate to bring these people up because I love the place. But we get the pavilion. The pavilion has a sign down at the end of the road, considerably away from the actual building that houses the business. So, I question, do I really want to see a sign for Dunkin' Donuts down at the Ashaway westerly line, town line?
yeah, but that's still their property too.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is their
So
property.
it'll be in their property.
But it can't
So
be.
we're only talking about LEDs.
And remember,
Yeah, no.
if you have like a Dunkin' Donuts sign on pavilion property, now you have a billboard.
Right.
Now it's effectively a billboard, which is banned
Yeah, good point.
because it's not, it has nothing to do with it.
Right.
Anything else on the?
Yeah, just the third line down, because we've always talked to LEDs, the plasma screens.
LCD and plasmas, that's where LEDs are going. I tried to leave, I put in here specifically not just LED, which are light emitting diodes, but also OLEDs, which are organic light emitting diodes, which are actually even more advanced than the diodes, and the LCD and the plasma screens. The plasma screens are like your television, so that it becomes, it isn't even like a sign with LED lights. It becomes a television, effectively, which is the last thing I want in a sign, is basically your television, and you can change it as a television. So we're trying on the electronic to cover all the territories that will come forward in the next.
We couldn't just get rid of that period and say they're not allowed. We are,
Why even have it
we're bending now to put the LCDs in, LEDs.
Oh, I
But
see.
the other ones just eliminate it and say, no, it's not allowed.
So LCD plasma screens are a ban, or how would we say that, Emery?
Well, I think if we just strike it, then they're not allowed.
Sure, absolutely.
Right.
Excellent.
I just thought, I thought that might have been going, because we are bending to accommodate.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
And so if they're not listed, then they're not
Right.
in there.
It's fine with me, it was an excellent point. Anything else on page one? Page two?
Misspelled word, I believe. In D, third line down, it should say nor rather than no shall.
Open, or,
Other than that,
That's me.
no shall.
Also, I have a couple of questions. Letter E, it says individual static messages displayed for a minimum of 12 hours. Is that static message pertaining to the gas prices, Barbara?
yes, it's a static sign.
But gas prices could change intraday.
They could, but we're not allowing them to change. No, we can change it. It's that, I
It
just
doesn't
put
make any
this.
sense.
Well,
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. Because
Well, no, if the price is
milk
$2 and it goes to $2.20, and he's got to
But
change it.
Frank, here's the thing, my cousin owned a gas station, and I used to argue with him all the time. That fuel that he's putting in that tank is a different price. The stuff that's in the tank is already been paid for.
No, I know.
So I used to argue with him all the
That's
time.
protocol that the business, I'm not going
I
to.
understand that, but I mean,
We don't want to set a precedent.
we don't, that's the thing, the
I don't
12-hour thing was, I thought was great.
I don't know what difference it makes if the sign is approved and they want to change the price because it went up.
Because then it can roll.
Because
Because
it,
it can roll.
They
because
can
it's
change
not,
it, they can,
You can roll.
you're just thinking gas.
Yeah, I'm just
But
thinking.
you have to look at the
Yeah.
whole
Liquor.
picture. Liquor, beer, $6.99 a six-pack. And then wine, $2.99. And it just constantly rolls and flashes.
No, I'm not talking about that.
Well, but you
But
know,
that's what you gotta be careful
I
of.
think-
I'm only concerned with the new ones that we allow, the two gas stations. You know.
Yeah, but this is gonna open things down the
Oh,
road.
no, I
too.
know,
mean,
I know, but I think it's prudent if someone is allowed to change their price
I can,
before 12 hours and not have it affect their business.
see, I don't have a problem with the question, because I put 12 hours, because I'd certainly like to have it not change at all. But maybe you want to say 8 hours or 6 hours. It doesn't matter if it changes hours apart. If
Why
it's
is there,
slow.
why is there any?
Because otherwise they'll roll. You can change
It'll be a
it.
moving sign.
It's a moving sign.
Yeah.
It's, well, I'm not, it's a moving sign. It's $3. And half an hour later, oh, it's $4. And half an hour later, it's $5.
Go to Charleston
But it's not
Elementary
just-
School,
it's not
and you
just-
watch it scroll,
Yeah.
okay?
Well, that's,
So
yeah, I'm not talking about
that's-
scrolling something.
This is
It's-
what
that's
changes
what-
it.
that's what'll
That's what
happen.
changes are.
And then if you allow it for this business, and we're basically doing this for the two service stations.
Right.
Okay, but think down the road, a couple of years, when this stuff really starts to blow up, and now you've got Dunkin' Donuts, you've got the liquor store, you've got the fire station that wants something out, fire danger, pizza. I mean, you gotta think down the road, because this is gonna,
This is not
this,
just for today.
yeah,
No,
this
I
is
know,
the
I know.
whole.
All I'm saying, my point is, it's a non-lettered sign that just changes price.
That's what liquor stores will do.
Oh, no, they're lettered.
They're numbered. You have a letter and a number.
Right, but this is only numbers,
No, it's letters and numbers.
not on the gas price. I'm
No.
just talking about gas price.
Okay, a gas price is only numbers.
Right,
But you can have that,
I guess,
you can have a bank and it has a clock. And a clock says 201, 202, 203, 204. And that's LED shifting too.
so, I don't understand, what would be, you mentioned about it rolling.
well, let's go down to 12 hours.
Rolling
It
is,
just,
yeah, I understand, I don't think it's a bad
As long as we don't have every
And
minute
I'm
or
not,
every 10 seconds.
yeah, it's how do you make it so that it is a calm change. So maybe you want to serve.
Say, would you rather have 3 hours?
Would you rather
I want
6
3 hours, 6 hours?
just something that you're not, you're not, hand tying a business where you can't raise.
For one day.
For one day.
Yeah,
For 12 hours.
It's just, I don't think it's our place
I
to
just-
do that.
But I don't think it's our place to allow everybody and their brother to have an LED sign
Well-
that's gonna change this to make it look like Warwick.
Well, no, I'm not saying
The
that.
reason people moved into
I'm
this,
only talking about numbers changing on the gas signs. I'm not talking about any other sign, or anything rolling, or anything other flashing, nothing like
but
that.
if you only have one, that opens the door.
But I think it's prudent though, I mean, if somebody's business has to change with the times and the cost goes up or down,
Okay,
I
can
think
you,
they should be more reactive than having us say, you should change it in 8 hours and you're gonna lose whatever it
okay,
is.
then pick a number. Do you want 6?
I don't know, the gas station, but I don't know.
Well,
And then they get delivery, delivery, one day,
Right.
A week?
maybe a week. So it's one day, and we're gonna allow this thing
6
to
hours maybe?
scroll or whatever
I don't have a problem with 6
I don't
hours.
want, I don't want 6 hours.
6 hours is fine.
Okay.
That makes very good too.
6.
Okay, sorry for the.
No, it's just simply, that's what this is about.
Yeah.
G, letter G,
Yeah.
first sentence, I guess, each digital sign must have a light sensing device. I guess, does that cost extra to have that, or is this like something that's built into the LED, so we're not having them incur more of an expense?
I am sure that it costs extra, but every sign has it now. It is absolutely a basic thing that is brought to LEDs. This is, yes, it costs more, but it is always available. And it wasn't several years ago.
Okay, that's not much.
Yeah, so yes, it is something they can definitely do.
But you don't, you think it's gonna be more expensive?
It is more expensive, but it is a dimming control that every single sign would need. And I think Tom brought over the example of the last one, is that you need to be able to do that. And a dimmer is always something that can be added to an existing.
Question, do the two gas stations have these at the present time?
Have what?
They are not doing it, they're doing it completely at 100%.
I
Okay.
have no idea.
Are they grandfathered in, is that what?
No.
No, because this was a temporary
This was temporary.
stay until we get this done.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they agreed to abide by whatever we determined, otherwise.
I just want to make sure that they understood that they weren't grandfathered in or something.
Yeah, no.
Good.
And indeed, a dimmer can be added to the light. Any other questions on that page?
Yeah, just one more on H. Digital signs may not operate at a brightness level of more than 0.20 foot candles.
Above ambient light.
How's someone gonna measure that?
You measure it with a light meter. It's a
Who
standard.
has those?
Brad Ward could have it, your electricians, your municipal electrician, everyone, they have light meters. But it is a standard.
That's the standard that it's measured.
Yes,
Foot candles.
this in foot candles, which is why it's done both ways. It is 2 foot candles above ambient light, 0.2 foot candles above ambient light. And the next one is the digital sign brightness limitations are measured in nits, because the diode is not, the lumens is incandescent. So it is both ways, so if you don't have something that does nits, you will have it that does lumens.
I didn't know what nits was, so I went through all the letters and all the vowels. Do nats and nats and.
Right,
I have no idea.
it is the terminology,
Yeah, I ended up looking it up this time.
yeah. And it's a new terminology because diodes are new. The next page. By the way, J, every line of copy and graphic in a digital display on the sign shall be no more than 12 inches in height. I did that according to the numbers that are there at present. The ones on the gas station, so that they don't have to change any of that. And I thought the sign, the number height was appropriate. So I used their specification.
I just had a question on N. Town of Hopkinton may request an investigation and/or certification of a digital sign's brightness and/or conformance with this subsection T by its building and zoning official. I guess,
Or by any qualified independent contractor at any time. And the building and zoning official may not have all the information, but his electrician may, be a municipal.
okay, then my question was at what expense, I guess, so,
Or by any qualified.
I don't know who's gonna pay for it.
It's already paid for.
You mean the electrician on the staff?
It's by
What-
stipend.
Yeah, but what if you can't measure it for some reason, so you go, it's out of my school.
Then I
Then we need a new electrician.
I'm just saying, I don't know.
That's a good point.
I don't blame you for asking.
You know, okay.
The other one, on I, L, no digital sign shall be utilized, which is fine, meaning use, house, or contain interactive features. They don't come standard with the.
No, they don't.
Oh, okay, all
They
right.
don't.
So that's.
Interactive features and components are a whole different, now, if you want expense, there's your expense.
Yes, yeah, okay.
What does that mean, interactive?
They move the signs, there are,
3D?
Well, I'm sure there are eventually.
Interactive, I think would be like touch screens and stuff like that.
Touchscreens, but it's also now on your computer, you can change them. You can take your computer and your sign, and if you want to draw an elephant, you can draw an elephant on your computer screen and have it come up on the sign. Oh, they're doing amazing things. We really don't want them to be able to do that.
There's something in here that talks about signs, and I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. Signs that they have the ballpark that flip, so you get 3 messages on one sign, you flip around like this and they flip, and then 10 seconds later they flip again.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, you have one plate.
Are they those LED things?
No,
Are they LED?
No. But they,
So it's not, it wouldn't be affected by this.
okay.
Unless they
Because it's
have
not lit.
LEDs in them.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't know.
But we're not gonna allow LED signs, lit signs to flip, right? We're not gonna have those.
No, you wouldn't do that anyway, because it's easier just to put the interactive thing, and make them move. That's why we put static.
That's
That's why we always talk about
the
static.
whole sign flips. And all of a sudden, you can get 3 LED or 4 even, a square that flips like this, like this, every 10 seconds, 15 seconds. You don't know what I'm talking about? Because they have these things now. And you go to the ballpark, you look behind them, and they're advertising beer, and the next batter up there, they're advertising something else. What's it called?
You put no flipping sign.
Folks, I didn't say that. Council President said that.
I have to say, I've never seen them.
Yeah, but they do.
I've never seen them in LEDs.
No,
You know what I was thinking of?
Somebody's gonna come up with the
It
idea.
was James Bond with his license plate. That's what
All right, I guess we'll save it till they pick greens on us, and then we're in trouble. Okay, moving on.
Okay, anything else on that page? Then we'll go to the last page. I do want to clarify the last page, actually, P. Digital colors are to be used as follows in all digital signs. And this is a discussion. Blue, green, and amber for digital signs in all commercial, retail, industrial, or manufacturing zones. Red is only allowed for emergency fire and ambulance, but they can use any of the other colors. But red is the only one that can be used for emergency fire and ambulance. White cannot be used anywhere except for hospital, healthcare, and police. They can obviously use every other color, but white is the only one. If you have too many reds, which you can even see now in the signs for the gas stations, if you have too many reds, because red is, really catches your eye, you would have too many reds. And when you have an ambulance, you have fire, you have something emergency, you really don't want background reds along with the
Oh, I see the red
ambulances.
lights.
Because of the lights, right. And white would be something that police can use in the hospitals because that's a big sign. Hospitals usually have the big white H. Emergency rooms might need to be really noticed. The police might have a sign that is digital, like we have the ones now that are, they're actually digital. The pole signs, the signs they
Yeah, the
put,
portable one.
portable ones.
Speeding.
But they can have something in white that says, emergency, go this way, and no one would compete. The reason I use for residential only green and blue is I don't know if anyone has been in neighborhoods where we've had, especially churches have started with the digital signs. And I had one in particular I went by that was amber, and it screamed at you. And it was a church in the middle of a residential area. It was most obnoxious. So blues and greens in residential areas so that it stays as low-key as possible, so that the town stays country as much as possible. But that's the reason that I put the color choices in. Remember, you're still going to get your magentas, your teals, the secondaries, but the secondaries can still be based off of the primary.
What's the constitution says now?
Red.
They're red and green or red
Can
and
you
blue.
change them that easily?
You should be able to, most LEDs will be able to change. I don't know if these can, to be frank. This one I don't know
But
if
they're
they
both commercial zones.
can. They're both commercial zones. But in commercial, I mean, they're not,
But it says red.
commercial zone is, you only can use red for ambulances and fire
Right.
and any emergency personnel.
Has this gone to Brad? Has he looked this over?
No, this is the first time, because this is the preliminary, it's the
So we
first
certainly
time.
want to send
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Certainly, this is the first
Sure.
discussion with council.
So why wouldn't police be blue?
Police can be, they can be any color they want. It's just they're the only ones that can use the brightest, go this way, tornado, hurricane, something that they, if they want to make a massive sign that says, do something in LED, in case of emergencies, in case of exits, hurricane, go this way, emergency, water is here, they should have the ability to use, because white is always the perceived brightest color. And I think the police and the hospitals should really have that.
But that's not what it says. It says white.
Yeah, exactly.
White for hospital or health.
Oh,
care.
I know,
Yeah,
but
please.
what it means is that they can use every color,
Oh,
but they can,
They're the only ones that can
ones that can
use
use
Right.
red.
oh, okay.
Emergency can only use red, they can use any other color they want.
Oh,
It's just simply, when you really want to get someone's attention, amber and white are two of the brightest, or perceived brightest. And red, of course, is an emergency. Red is, run, do something dangerous. So green, blue are very calming. They are quiet colors, they let you know what's happening, but they don't scream at you. The ambers are much brighter. So for commercial and industrial, I'm sure they need to use that too. But I'd like them not to use whites and reds in particular.
I would suggest that this go through staff, and then, and see what they want to do with it. Come back to the council and see what their changes are, and then kick it to a hearing.
I think that's fine.
Yeah,
it's good. Okay.
And Barbara did a nice job.
Yeah.
And this is, it's one of the reasons that I think we try to be proactive and stop something and then bring it back forward so you can think about it and put something forward that works well. Our X-rated ordinance was the same thing.
Remember that?
We did that,
Mhm.
then Westerly took it, and Charleston took it, Richmond was a little late.
Okay, thank you all. Next, under new business, discuss, consider, and vote on an appointment of an alternate to the planning board. Joshua Beloit.
Yeah. I would make a motion to appoint Joshua Beloya as an alternate to the planning board.
Second?
Motion made second, any discussion, folks?
I'm looking forward to this. I think this will be very interesting for Mr. Beloya. I hope you're going to enjoy it. There's a lot, and I think as an alternate, you'll be able to go, we don't want you to go in and out, you have to be at all of them, but it gives you a chance to learn it, and I think you would be a great addition.
So motion made second, and no further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Good luck, Josh.
Welcome aboard.
Last public forum. Anyone out there wishing to join? John?
Mr.
Hey.
Packard.
Hello,
Hello.
I'm John Pennypacker, I live on Lawn, Foster Road North. I just wanted to talk briefly about the solar, and I wanted to thank Councilor Thompson for the foresight and the taking initiative on bringing solar to Hopkinton, but I just have a few concerns that I want to share, and the first is a solar developer had mentioned to Gary Marsh that he believes 25 acres of solar will saturate sort of the town's grid capacity. I'm not an expert, so I don't know. So I think if we go 15, we're taking a lot of opportunity away from farmers who might otherwise want to subsidize their income. I believe that the farm viability is allowing for at most 3 acres of solar on a very large lot. Is that right? And I think it may be perceived as inconsistent if the town were to put 15 acres on a smaller lot. And I think placement is a key consideration. I love the idea of stacking them next to 95, stacking them next to railroad tracks, particularly if they can be angled upward to deflect sound from getting back here. That's great stuff. But just wanted to put all those things in consideration.
Thanks.
Valid point, yeah.
Valid point.